into the room. Welcome to all of my Facebook family. Let's get my Instagram family into the room. It says I am live. Okay, very good. I am here as promised to share with you my results of my most recent doctor exam on my autoimmune disease. And so I am going to share that with you, but I'm going to share that with you right after this message from. Welcome back to the War on Wellness. I am your host, Penny McPherson, and I'm here on Wednesdays with the War on Wellness. And I'm here to give you food education, and knowledge. As you saw in the video, I've spent a good portion of time, actually years, traveling abroad and seeking out additional knowledge to help myself on my wellness journey. And it is my hope that along the way that I can inspire someone else. And I hope that that person is you, or if you know someone who's on the journey to wellness, then make sure that you share this video. So if you're watching, let me know if you're watching on Facebook. Put an F in the chat if you're watching on Facebook. Put a Y if you're watching it on YouTube. And put an I on Instagram if you're watching on Instagram. Today we're talking. Okay, good. I see the F's coming in. Looks like we have a lot of watchers here on Facebook. Oh, and Instagram. Yes. Thank you to my Instagram family for being here this week. And so I just want to, for those of you who don't know me, I just like to have a conversation. And I did a live yesterday where I was talking about the fact that I got my doctor's results from my autoimmune disease that I have, but it doesn't have me, and that is the Graves' disease. So I want to say hello to those who are watching. Okay, we got Kwate, we got my mom. Hi, mom. It's here. We have Fanita as well, and some others of you who are in the room. Wonderful. Great to have you all. So, listen, I just want to share with you. You know, one thing that I think that a lot of people don't do, I'm going to say seasoned women, because I don't consider myself old, but I think that I think that it's helpful to share. I mean, some people say, well, you really shouldn't be sharing all that, and and letting people know that you have issues, and letting people know that you're managing illness or dis-ease or anything like that in your body. And so I respectfully disagree. I think that a lot of times we have people in our family and we wonder, well, what happened to Aunt Hattie, or what happened to Martha, or whatever. And when we lose a person in our legacy, in our heritage, we lose a wealth of information that could have been shared with us, and that information can empower us on our journey. So those who are in generations that come after us. And so I think it's important to share the information. I mean, I'm not perfect and I haven't done everything completely right, but I have had some successes. And then maybe somebody else can come along and they can build upon my successes, or at the very least, they can learn from my mistakes. Okay. So put a yes in the chat if you think that it's a good idea to share the health journeys that we have, whether they've been good or bad. Some people are fighting uh, whatever their illness may be, and they're doing it successfully. Some people may not be, but if we take the learnings from both of those, because life has learnings, then we can move to higher heights. And I really believe, that all wisdom comes from God. And yes, thank you for putting the yes in the chat. And that our the Bible says that we overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the power of our testimony. So there is power in a testimony. There is power in a testimony. And so I think that it's important that we take that principle that the Bible talks about and that we share and that we testify to that. Thank you, Corte and Mom, for putting the yeses in the chat. So yeah, so in order for me to do this, I have to be transparent. I have to be a little vulnerable. So do bear with me in that respect, because it's not always easy sharing that you're not perfect. Because if you look, the society that we live in now is like, you share your best things on social media, your vacations and your accolades and your awards and all the things, your baby's first steps, your dog walking journey, whatever it is. You share all the positive things, your new car, and you don't necessarily share the struggles that you have. And so, it's my hope that I can inspire someone else. As I walk along the way, that my living will not be in vain. Okay. So I have, or my body's been challenged over the years since 1998. And that is 25, no, it's 20, in the new year, it's 26 years ago. I was diagnosed with Graves' disease. And so, which is an autoimmune disease. And so let me just make sure that I use my notes so I can stay organized and cover everything that there is. So one of the key elements in managing an autoimmune disease is adopting a holistic approach, and that means, of course, I'm plant-based Penny, and I'm going to talk about that. And so that means nourishing our bodies with wholesome foods and reducing the stress, using mindful practices, and finding joy in movement as well. So there are a lot of practices that can help the autoimmune diseases and that have helped me. And I've seen it work when I am not practicing as I should. Then I've seen myself go off of the rails. And as I was talking with the client yesterday, they said they fell off of the wagon. It's okay. It's okay. We fall off of it. We fall down, but we get up. It's going to happen. So we have to expect the unexpected. Things are going to happen in our lives, and we're going to get off of the path. But the important thing is that we get back on the path. That is the important thing. Don't just fall off and say, "Oh, I fell off, then I can't do anything else. I can't do it." No, we have to keep. My mom used to say, "If at first you don't succeed, try again." And so we don't want to forget the power of plant-based nutrition and medicine. So don't let me lose you now at this point, because I've been managing this when I was a meat eater. So I've been managing it through my eating beef, turkey, fish, um, cheese, eggs, all of that. So the journey does encompass that, and so I was able uh, to help my body throughout that entire process. And so nature does provide us with an abundance of healing and support it for our wellness and our wellness journey. And by nature, I mean the things that God created. Don't get me twisted and thinking that I mean some other uh, mystical type of nature. No, I'm talking about the Jehovah, uh, the Yahweh, Jah, God, the only one, the only wise God, the creator. Just want to level set that right there because there are a lot of different thoughts on that. So, uh, perhaps also, I think one of the most important parts of the journey, and I'm going to get to the results, is self compassion. So, when I talked about falling off the wagon there, so living with an autoimmune disease can be challenging. It can be challenging both physically and emotionally. So early on in my journey, I didn't realize the correlation between the two. So it's okay to have bad days. It's okay to feel frustrated. You're gonna feel frustrated, and it's okay to ask for help when you need it. So if you're battling an autoimmune disease or simply trying to navigate the ups and downs, remember that you're not alone. And so together we're going to arm ourselves with the knowledge that we need for this path to success, one step at a time. Okay, one step at a time, one day at a time, 1 hour at a time. So we break it down. So my results. So as I mentioned, 1998 was when I was originally diagnosed with Graves' disease, and which is an autoimmune disease, and there are other autoimmune diseases too. Uh, there's multiple sclerosis, MS. There's lupus. There's Graves' disease, and I'm missing one off the top of my head. I can't remember what it is. Maybe I remember what that other one is. Um, lupus is the other one. Yes. Yes. So, or rheumatoid arthritis is another condition. So there's like several along the spectrum, and so those are just examples. Back to my results. So I've been struggling with various symptoms for over the years, but I, I actually went to the doctor, got tested, and the last time I was tested right before I left the United States, and before I moved to Costa Rica, I got those results so I can compare them to these results that I just received. And so in 2018, and I've had tests along the way, but the two most recent, in 2018, I actually had a thyroid nodule. So it's sort of like a growth, a cyst, or on the on the on the thyroid. Oh, let me show you here. So I have a thyroid. I have a fat neck, basically. You could probably see it here. It's rather large. So what was I saying? Oh yeah. So in 2018, in that year when I had the test, I actually had two nodules on my thyroid, two dose. And so, but that was not the reason that I went abroad. I mean, I wasn't going abroad specifically for that, but my thyroid was stable before I left. So I did have the two, but, and one of them was small. It was like 0.7 by 0.5 by 0.5. The other one was 2 centimeters by 1 centimeter by 1.5 centimeter. Anyway, so, and they are small. And actually, the interesting thing about it is that the larger they are, the more likelihood that they're definitely not cancerous. And so I had two in 2018. The test that I had done last week says that I only have one. now. Can somebody like put a thumbs up in the chat or a clap or a heart or something? Because I think that's good news. I mean, I had two nodules on my thyroid, two lumps on my thyroid when I left the country. Now I only have one. So I think that is a good thing. So I just got these results on yesterday. And so I am elated. I am happy about that. There's more, but wait, there's more. And so with that, I did notice, or the doctor did notice, that there's been a change in my thyroid. In that, okay, like I said, I got a fat neck. Um, there's been a slight change in my thyroid, only by 1 centimeter. So, but it can affect me at some point, in what, like with swallowing or talking or singing or something like that, because it's your vocal cords and your trachea and all that is kind of like in the same general area right here on your throat. Right now, I don't have too much of an issue with that. So, and obviously, I'm not missing. I'm not missing too many meals, and so I have no problem with food in that regard. Maybe one day I'll need to do something uh, with that, but I just want to just like praise the Lord that I don't have that challenge right now. And so I want to go back. See, someone is asking. Okay, somebody they're on Instagram saying that they were suffering with some challenges and they did get some help. So great, Dave. I am glad to hear that the challenges that you were having, celiac, ADHD, migraines, yes, definitely a plant-based diet can help with that. Yeah, and if anybody else has a testimony on how they have been helped by improving their lifestyle, feel free to put that in the comments as well. Thank you for the thumbs up that are coming in. Wonderful. Hello. I want to say hello to Pam, Katina, Lisa, Tandy, all of you. Thank you so much for watching. So, okay, I mentioned I went from 2 nodules to 1 nodule. And so that is a good thing. And also, let's look here at the size of the nodule. So the larger nodule that I had, that I said was 2 by 1 by 1.5, that one actually decreased in size. So that's more like thumbs up, hearts. Can I get some thumbs up, some hearts, some smiley faces? I think that's good news as well. So the nodule went from, well, I don't know if all these numbers are going to make any sense to you guys, but from it went from 2.1 to 1.6, from 1.1 to 0.9, from 1.5 to 1.4. So that is a good thing. My hope and my prayer is that it would go to 0 and not be there anymore. But one of the things that my endocrinologist, which is a thyroid specialist, she said yesterday was, excuse me, she says that because of the size of the nodules, that she is not going to recommend a biopsy of it. And so and that's one of the things that I think is really interesting, because I will say that, I mean, I fired a couple of doctors in my journey. And I think it's really important that you have doctors that you can communicate well with, and have doctors that respect you. I'm trying to carefully say this because I think that relationship is important for your overall health maintenance. And if you believe that a doctor patient relationship is important, or let me ask this way. So what do you look for in a doctor when you are working with one? So whoever your medical professional is, what do you look for that's important in working with that? Because you only have one body. And yes, I've been told by doctors that, well, this worked on George Bush, and you know, and being shamed into that you should do X, Y, and Z because I know better. And yes, they do know a lot, and I do respect the medical professionals. So that's why I do incorporate them into my health management. And I believe that we should all be our own best health advocate, and that if you have questions that you should ask and never be made to feel ashamed um, or less than because you are not the medical professional. It is still important that you feel and that you act on the questions that you have. And so, hey, Miss Wilborn, how are you? Good to see you. Hello, Diane and Samantha. Okay, so one of the things that I think that women are told, and especially African American and Black women are our health sometimes is not prioritized when we talk about symptoms, and we are either ignored or told to ignore that symptom. And so early on in my journey, I was told, "Oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it." And so I think that I could have made better progress if I wasn't told, "Oh, just don't worry about it." I think that if you have whatever you have going on, from head to toe, that you should do additional research, and you should do research, and you should get second opinions in working with whoever your medical professional might be, or even in working with your naturopath or working with your holistic consultant. That you should always make sure that you are researched, and that even with me, and then that you are aware that the information I'm sharing is valid and has been proven. And so I think that being able to get ahead of some things, so being told, "Oh, don't worry about it," when I was pre-diabetic, uh, I was told, "Oh, don't worry about it. You're just going to be diabetic." I mean, I think that we have to take charge of our own health in some ways. And so, whatever path you choose, if you choose to, I mean, I had the option of, having surgeries. And so, choose that path, that's fine. I had to go on medicine, choose that path, that's fine. So, oh, yeah. So, I was in Walgreens actually earlier today, and I got a phone call. It was from my doctor's office, and they told me when I took they took the blood pressure, and when they put the thing on your finger, uh, actually don't know what that's called, but if anybody knows what that thing is called, it measures your oxygen in your pulse. But the little thing that they put on your finger when they're taking your vital signs. I mean, while I was in the office, I mean, I had to run from one location to another, trying to get to Johnson Willis, and I got there, and I'm like, I mean, I was like a couple minutes late. They call me right back, go there, sit down, and so I'm like not out of breath, but I am, I had been moving. I get there and they put the sensor on my finger, and it was like 39, 40, 45, my pulse rate. And I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, well, that's kind of low because just like ran in here. I had to like run back to my car to get my printed out folder and results. That's kind of low. So anyway, they called me today to take me off of the beta blocker because I was taking a beta blocker, which keeps your heart rate down, and so it was making my heart rate go down too far. So testimony time. So I have to drive an hour and a half to get to my doctor's office in Richmond, Virginia. So can you imagine? I was driving with a low pulse rate. I could have fainted or anything, or blacked out while I was driving. But for the grace of God, I did not. So thank God for that. And so yeah, I think we should yes, some clapping and some and some thumbs up, definitely for that as well. So anyway, so they took me off of the beta blocker because I have improved to the point that I no longer need it. Then I was also in December taking 5 thyroid pills because my thyroid was putting out too much uh, hormone, the TSH hormone into my body. It's just like flooding it, and so it's just like crazy. My anxiety levels were so high, and all the other things that come with that. You know, the insomnia and the overheating, the night sweats, just ridiculous. And so anyway, so I had to take five. I've never in my life had to take so many pills before. And so I was taking 5 pills. And so while I was in Walgreens earlier, uh, actually picking up a card, I wasn't picking up medicine, but I was. They told me that I can only have to take one. So they took me off of one medicine. So these are results. So what I'm actually doing something that's actually working. So it's working for me, and this is my personal testimony. I was taking 5 pills for my thyroid, and 1 pill for the heart rate. No longer taking the pill for the heart rate, and only having to take the one for the thyroid. So that is a good result. I think that's a good result. I would prefer not to take any medicine, but I am, and I'm okay with that. So I'm this year, Lord willing, I'll be 61 years old, and there are a lot of people who are not 61 or who are less than that who are taking medications or managing chronic diseases. So I thank God for that, for the opportunity to help myself and to help others. Now, I will say this: if tomorrow something happens to me, and I am no longer on this earth, for whatever, mother, don't get excited. I'm this is not a pronouncement or anything like this. There is nothing else that I haven't said or anything like that. Hey Priscilla, how are you? And so if perchance something happens that unexpected, I want all of my plant-based penny followers to know that I truly believe in God's remedies. I truly believe in the laws of health, and I believe that if you break the laws of health, that there are consequences to those. Some of those may not be through actions of your own. The environment that we live in, the air that we breathe, uh, where you lived when you grew up as a kid, as you were developing, the stress or trauma that happened in your childhood. All of those affect us as we grow and continue on in life. So it may not be something that we did or that we're doing like right now that's causing us to have to manage the chronic illness or whatever the disorder is that we have. It may have been something in your environment, in your heritage that needs to be managed. But what I want you to know is just because it ran in your family does not does not mean that you have to embrace it and you have to just sit back and be like, well, there's nothing I can do about it. Ran in the family. Auntie May had it, and cousin this person, and Grandma Jane. No, no, we really need to be our own best health advocate and do everything that we can with this one body temple that we've been blessed with so that we can move from our problem to our progress. And you are maybe the person that your generation has been waiting for to change that history that's been permeating for generation to generation to generation. So be the change that you want to see. Be the change that you want to see. So very important. So uh, let's see. I have thank you, Dave, for watching. I want to make sure that I don't miss any comments. So I wanted to also ask specifically if anybody out there who has lupus or MS or rheumatoid arthritis or Graves' disease or autoimmune thyroid disease, have you seen a change, or has it helped you, or you've managed uh, the multitude of cancers that there are out there, or other struggles that you have? Have you seen by improving your lifestyle, have you seen a change for the better? Is the question. Have you seen a change for the question is better? If you want to put what it is, you can. You can put MS, yes. You can put lupus, yes. You can put arthritis, yes. I will give you. I'm going to give you something that I did just uh, run across. I actually did some additional research on regarding rheumatoid arthritis. So one of the things is I woke up with like a really bad pain in my knee. I was like, "What in the world is wrong?" It felt like the thing fell out of socket. First of all, I'm 60 years old, right? Yeah, yeah. I was 61 this year. So, and I have no pain. So when I have pain, I mean, I have no pain anywhere. I don't get headaches. I don't have hip pain, knee pain, joint pain. Nothing pains me, except for some people sometimes. But anyway, I'm kidding. So, uh, so I had this pain in my knee, and one of the things that the results show is that I have low vitamin D. So that's one of the things that occurs in one of the symptoms or side effects of the Graves' disease, the autoimmune diseases, is it can affect your vitamin levels. So make sure that you get a complete metabolic panel when you get your blood work done so that you can check all of your nutrients and to see if you're low in any other areas and see if you need to maybe take some supplements. And so my vitamin D is very, very low. It's extremely low. And so when it's low, then that can lead to challenges in your bones and with arthritis. And so it may be that you're experiencing the pains of arthritis because you're low in vitamin D. And so that may be one thing that you need to look at. If you're having joint pain, get your vitamin D tested and then do something about it. So take a supplement, get the sunshine. My doctor and I specifically had this conversation yesterday, and I won't go into all the details, but we had a meeting of the minds that you can get sun every day. So trying to get sun. Well, today it's raining here in out here in Prince Edward County, Virginia. But get the vitamin D if you can every day. 15 minutes is all you need. Having it shine on your face and your limbs, your neck, and as much as you can. You do not need to lay out in the sun. You do not need to worry about getting sunburn or anything like that. Just getting the vitamin D and sun lamps. Some people have to use sun lamps, but getting the vitamin D on as many days as you can, and you do that while you're out and you're walking. And so that's just another little tidbit for you that's free of charge. Won't even charge you for it. So the these are just steps toward my wellness. And the great thing is that when we talk about our wellness, if you are really interested in learning more about the steps that I took to get these test results, and that's one for those who, Lorraine, how are you? And hello, Tina, and hello, Anne. Good to see you all. So, for those of you just joining, the test results, I had two thyroid nodules, went down to one. And the one that I have, that one is decreasing in size as well. And I've also been taken off of just about all of my medicine. I'm still taking one pill that I have. And so, and that's one thing I always talk to my clients about. Don't take yourself off of medicine. Let your doctor take you off of the medicine. So plant-based Penny has never said stop taking your medicine. Okay? You can never ever say that I said that. Take your medicine, and then when you improve, then your doctor will take you off of that when you get your next round of test results. So the great thing is that I will be hosting a free webinar. That's exciting news for you. But I want to do it if people are interested, and where I'll share my journey, the strategies that I use to navigate the testing process, the holistic approaches that help me along the way. So whether you're personally dealing with autoimmune diseases or you're supporting a loved one through the journey, if you put webinar in the chat, and I want to offer this webinar in May. So put webinar in the chat. It's completely free. I just want to be able to share with you the specifics of how I was able to work with this disorder, with this disease, so that I can help eradicate it and move from problems to progress, because I'm not moving to perfection. Not going to be in perfection, but we're going to move from problems to progress. So if you're simply curious about holistic wellness, this webinar is for you. So together we can explore and empower ourselves at the same time with the knowledge, and embrace the holistic healing and reclaim your vitality, because that's really what I wanted to. I was tired of feeling fatigued and tired all the time, and not having the energy, and having a to-do list was getting longer because I couldn't really manage it, because my body wasn't keeping up with my life. So if you're ready to take that next step toward wellness, put webinar in the chat. And if people are interested in the webinar, then I will definitely do this webinar. And it'll be a special private webinar just for us. I'll share some other details that I'm not sharing on here, a little bit more intimate. Uh, and keep an eye out on my social media channels, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. And really, I mean, we can embark on this journey together, and you can get those details that can help you in this journey. So yes, Priscilla is saying thank you for the great information. You're welcome. Welcome. Wonderful. I'm seeing the webinars show up. So great. Wonderful. So I thank you very much for joining me today for the War on Wellness. I am Penny, your host, also known as Plant-Based Penny, and I help people move from problems to progress with plant-based solutions. And I do that through speaking engagements and one-on-one consultations. And so I look forward to letting you know my next speaking opportunities. If you have an organization who is looking to empower women, consider me and contact me, and I am happy to talk with you about that. So if you have any questions, put them in the chat. Until next week, we will see you then. Stay well and be well, family.